And I am Aisha Yakubu Khalid. The headlines tonight.
News 360 Headlines is brought to you by
Flamingo Paint
and Napa Foods. Heaven Black Insecticide Spray and Coil.
2,000 basic education certificate examination candidates invited by West Africa Examination Council to help in investigations into malpractices.
Also in the bulletin, as lobbying intensifies for the role of running mate for the two leading political parties, we explore why the keen interest.
Later, we bring you the story of how Lahadi Samira is on a quest to bring astronomy closer to Ghanaians.
And on the international front, Sierra Leone declares nationwide curfew after gunmen attacked the main military barracks in Freetown. We are live around the world on 3news.com. We are also streaming on Facebook, and if you're watching us on DSTV, this is channel 279.
We're starting off with education because the West African Examination Council is investigating over 2,000 candidates who participated in this year's Basic Education Certificate Examination, BEC, over suspected malpractices. The candidates have been summoned to WAEC's offices to address questions regarding alleged irregularities detected during the exams. The council is withholding the results of specific subjects of these candidates until the investigations are concluded. On November 9, 2023, the West African Examination Council revealed that the scripts of 22,270 candidates in certain subjects had been withheld and were under scrutiny for reported cases of mass cheating. We're staying a while longer on this. Let's speak with the Institute for Education Studies, IFEST, and Dr. Peter Partey-Anti is the Executive Director. Good evening, Doc, and thank you for joining us on News 360.
Good evening.
Over 2,000 candidates have been summoned by WAEC to partake in investigations over exam malpractices. It seems like this is the first time we're seeing something like this. What do you make of it?
Thank you very much, and good evening to your viewers. Yes, I think that this is a result of the years of advocacy that we have had in terms of examination malpractices. And you see that this year I said on other platforms that WAEC seems to be proactive. You know, previous years, they will wait for the issues to be brought to the fore and they come defending. But this year, for the first time, we saw WAEC issuing a statement and complaining about the extensive form of examination malpractices. And that is because they didn't want to sit back and wait for others to raise this issue. Now, their admittance of this indicated that they are ready to take the issues a step further and make sure that we are able to bring exams malpractices into the barest minimum. And that is what we are experiencing now. So when they announced and they said that there are certain scripts that they suspect possible examination malpractices because of the answers that were given by the candidates, we were expecting that these candidates will be given the opportunity to explain themselves because they were not caught. It is the examiners that are saying that the trend of responses, the way things were answered, and so on and so forth, suggests a possible collusion. So they have to give them the platform to explain themselves, and that will be the basis upon which certain decisions will be made. And I think that it is a good thing that WAEC is doing, and we should pat them on the back.
So moving forward, do you think that we should stick to this? We withhold some subjects, the results of some subjects, and then we summon some of the candidates to help in investigations so that we can deal with the issue of malpractices when it comes to examinations?
I think that any time that we suspect that there's a possible examination malpractice, and we are not able to detect it during the exam period, we should give the students the opportunity to explain themselves. That's the natural law of justice, that you give the other person the opportunity to explain himself or herself. And that is what WAEC needs to do. My only challenge with this is that they need to do it within a stipulated period of time, so that those who are not found culpable, their results can be released, and then they can be placed in their respective senior high schools. But if they drag this for a long period of time, what is going to happen is that their colleagues will be placed, they will go to school, and they wouldn't know their fate. So we'll plead with them that as they go through the investigative process, they should speed up and ensure that they are able to deal with the issues, and those that are found not culpable, their results are released as early as possible, so that they can also get some senior high school for them to attend. Yeah.
Those that are found culpable after the investigations, what do you think should be done?
For them, I think the rule is that their papers will be cancelled and they will be given opportunity to rewrite. So those who, after the investigation, are seen as being culpable, they should follow the normal rule. Their papers would be, those papers will be cancelled, and then they are given the opportunity to write again. But technically, if there's a suspicion of possible exam malpractice, there's a need for WAEC to investigate, and exactly that is what they are doing.
Grateful for your time this evening, Doc. Dr. Peter Partey is the Executive Director for IFEST.
Right, let's move on to some other stories. Very disturbing within the sub-region. Sierra Leone's President Julius Maada Bio declared a nationwide curfew Sunday after gunmen attacked the military's main and largest barracks where it stores its weapons in the capital, Freetown. And this has raised fears of a breakdown in order in the country amid fears of the current recent coups within the West African sub-region. The Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, in a statement, described the incident as a plot to acquire arms and disturb the peace and constitutional order in the country. ECOWAS condemned the attacks and called for the arrest and prosecution of all participants. And this also was contained in a statement where ECOWAS reiterated its zero tolerance for unconstitutional change of government. It is still unclear whether this is a coup or something else, and reports are still sketchy. But let's try and speak to a Ghanaian who's living in Sierra Leone to give us an idea of how this curfew that was imposed earlier today has been. Madam Josephine Shaka is a businesswoman in Sierra Leone, joined us via Zoom for a quick chat. Madam, a very good evening to you. Thank you for your time. Hello, Josephine Shaka, can you hear me? All right, so we had her. We'll try and reconnect to get exactly what it is like, get a sense of how it feels like to have a nationwide curfew. And the early hours between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m. today in Sierra Leone, the capital, Freetown, we're told that a number of soldiers went to a barracks and attempted to break in and steal some weapons. In fact, that particular barracks has majority of the weapons in the country. On the back of that, there was a confrontation between the soldiers guarding the facility and those soldiers that had come there to break in. While that was going on, a major prison was also broken into and a number of prisoners were let out, and it's left the whole country in some kind of disquiet. Let's see if we have a better connection to Madam Josephine Shaka, who is a Ghanaian living in Sierra Leone, to help us understand how the situation currently has unfolded in the last few hours. So we do not have her for that connection, but if you go to our website, 3news.com, you will get all the developing stories, the reactions that have come in so far, and the general condemnation of that kind of situation. We'll try and see if we can connect to Josephine Shaka, who is with a Ghanaian in Sierra Leone.
Well, while we try to get Josephine on the line, let's do some politics. Now, the opposition National Democratic Congress and the governing New Patriotic Party have elected their flag bearers for the 2024 general elections. Now, the next step is selecting a running mate. My colleague Evelyn Tingma examines the significance of a running mate and the reasons behind many individuals lobbying for the position.
and NPP have been gaining attention, and the reason is the choice of a running mate for their flag bearers. The NDC's flag bearer, John Mahama, was elected in 2022, but is yet to select his running mate.
There are processes in choosing a running mate. We will do that next year.
There are those who think Mahama will maintain his 2020 running mate, Professor Jane Nana Opoku Agyeman, and there are those who think she will be changed. Others, including chiefs, are seriously lobbying for the running mate to be selected from their regions. In the case of the NDC, names are not really popping up like their counterparts from the NPP. The NPP on November 4 elected Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia as its flag bearer, and the selection of a running mate has become an interesting one. Several names have come up already, including MP for Minsha South and Energy Minister Dr. Matu Opoku Prempeh, First Deputy Speaker of Parliament and MP for Bekwai, Joseph Osei-Wusu, Majority Leader and MP for Swame, Osei Mensa Bonsu, Education Minister and MP for Bosomche, Dr. Yao Osei-Educhum, Chief of Staff, Akosia Frema Osei-Opare, and the immediate past chairman of the Church of Pentecost, Apostle Opoku Onyina. Serious lobbying is also said to be heightened in the camp of the NPP.
As for Majority Leader, he probably voted for him because he wanted to be running mate. My colleague, the former Minority Leader, was saying that I'm concentrating on my running mate campaign. Mr. Speaker, let me state it here clearly that there is no contest for the position of a running mate, and I'm not involved in campaigning for running mate position. It should be loud and clear.
The lobbying, according to political scientists, is normal and expected.
If he's just interested in picking a politician from amongst the MPP or one of the parliamentarians or one of the ministers, fine, that will be his choice. But he needs to tread cautiously to not bring someone who has that kind of ego or pride that is going to end up creating an internal conflict between himself. I mean, clash of personalities. Because as a flag bearer, you are not going to be subservient to your running mate.
To be a running mate means a possible vice president of the republic if the party is voted into power. So the lobbying will continue, whether publicly or behind the scenes, until the parties or the flag bearers finally settle on their individual choices. But one thing is certain, that both running mates would definitely be persons from the southern part of the country. Evelyn Tinkma, TV3 News, Accra.
And still on the same subject of running mate, the New Patriotic Party faces yet another difficult task in choosing one from within their fold to help Dr. Bawumia break the proverbial 8. Amid the seeming competition among some party bigwigs for the role, the Majority Leader is cautioning against attempts to force a candidate on the flag bearer, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. But what, in his own view, should be the criteria for selecting the running mate for Dr. Bawumia?
The Majority Leader, Osei Mensa Bonsu, is among individuals whose names have come up as the potential running mate for Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia. Some political commentators, for instance, have argued the NPP flag bearer risks losing vote from the Ashanti region if he chooses a candidate beyond the region. Commenting on the raging ethnic and religious debate, the Majority Leader says Dr. Bawumia must not be pressured into selecting a running mate. He, however, agrees whoever is chosen to be the running mate should come from the southern part of the country and not Ashanti region precisely.
I don't want us as a party or as individuals to be engaged in any attempt at foisting somebody on the flag bearer, the newly elected presidential candidate. Why? Because in nominating Roland Isifu Alasan as his partner, Professor Albert Eduwahin was never forced by anyone. He did his own introspection. He might have done his own consultation, and then he came up with the name R.I. Alassane, announced at the National Council. The party considered it and proffered our advice. Equally so for Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. And there was no point where people were openly jostling or maybe, trying to force candidates on the candidate. Mm-hmm. So let's leave him.
The Swami legislator evaded a question on whether he is interested in being the running mate. He rather touted his competencies, saying the choice should be left for the flag bearer to make.
Is there any contest for the position of a running mate? There's no contest. The man knows me, he knows my competencies, he knows my credentials. If he thinks that I'm the right person, it's his choice. It's for others to judge that, oh, Chairman Sabunsui could be. But it's not for me to say that I will be.
But you have to believe in what you can do.
I know what I can do, what I cannot do.
Over the past weeks, traditional leaders have been calling for the running mate of both the NPP and the NDC to be chosen from their regions.
We are one people in one country with a common destiny, as a champion used to say. And the Constitution forbids us to discriminate on grounds of ethnicity, region, gender, and so on. Mm-hmm. Except that the Constitution also says that in recruiting people into public office, we should ensure gender equity, regional balance, right, and so on. But we know the dynamics.
Right.
So let the people decide.
Christian Yale, TV3 News.
All right, we take a step back to our earlier story having to do with the curfew, the nationwide curfew that has been imposed on Sierra Leone by the president following some soldiers trying to take over a military barracks, and also the fact that some prisoners have broken out. Joining us on Zoom is Mrs. Josephine Shaka, a businesswoman in Sierra Leone. Madam, good evening, and thank you for joining us.
Good evening.
First of all, what is the situation like in Sierra Leone? I'm sure this should be your first time of experiencing a curfew, isn't it?
I think that before then, during Corona, we had a few lockdowns and curfews, but curfew with military on the streets, military presence on the streets, and then gunfires and hearing of ammunitions going off, that is the first, yes. Mm.
And do we know what triggered this military action that has led to a curfew?
Okay, so in the early mornings, we were fast asleep in our house. We were woken up by friends who were checking up on us. We did not even know what was going on until we woke up and we heard the gunshots. So through the news and the information we got from the ministry, got to know that some people tried to take over the military barracks. Okay, they succeeded in taking some ammunitions, but they were chased down the streets of Sierra Leone by some military men, and then were apprehended. And since the fire throughout the day in different parts and different pockets of Sierra Leone. But at the moment, the information we are hearing is it's under control. Some people have been apprehended. They've been pushed to the outskirts of Freetown, the capital city. They were in place to be door. It is easy for them to identify those who are on the street and know those who are involved in this coup d'etat, this attempt.
Right, and finally, before you take over, we know it's early days yet, but do you have an idea, or have you been told what next from government, beyond the curfew, any next line of action from government on this?
At the moment, we haven't heard anything. The government, they did not put any time or date. The curfew, they did not put any time or date. They just said with immediate effect. So we are waiting. We don't know when the curfew will be lifted. But looking at what is going on, because the firing started from 3 a.m. as at late afternoon, we're still hearing gunshots from different pockets of Sierra Leone. So it might go on through tomorrow. We don't know. Some of the schools have already called to shut down schools. So we don't know what is going on here. We are all waiting for the Ministry of Information to give us more information and to enlighten us as to what to do. With the Ghanaian community, we are all on a platform. By God's grace, we are sharing information among ourselves, and we are all indoors and we are staying put. So whatever happened, the Ghana High Commission is on our side, is helping us, getting us the right information. So everybody is safe at the moment.
All right, Madam Josephine Shaka, thank you so much for making time to speak with us. And she is a Ghanaian, a businesswoman in Sierra Leone. Definitely will keep close tabs on this and keep you posted in subsequent bulletins.
Okay.
To some more stories tonight, she took a bold decision to enroll in school at the age of 42 after she was labelled illiterate. Her vision is to become a member of parliament in her constituency after school. Stanley Nibleo reports on Alimatu Nasiru, whose dream of transforming her life and the Nkwanta South constituency of the Oti region appears to be crushing.
In 2015, Alimatu decided to represent the people of her electoral area at the district assembly, so she filed to be voted for as an assembly member. Her highest educational level at the time was kindergarten.
I began education when I was young, but I dropped out when my parents died. My grandmother took me to the village to live with her and never sent me back to school.
She is fluent in the local languages, but cannot read or write. In the run-up to the elections, Alimatu's main contender called her illiterate. Eventually, she lost the opportunity to represent her people.
When I attend meetings, people expect that I write my name, but I could not do so unless someone helped me write.
After nursing her disappointment, Alimatu decided to challenge herself. The now 46-year-old food vendor enrolled in class 2 at a public basic school nearby. After discussing her ambition with her husband, who was equally illiterate.
5 little fingers, 5 little fingers.
Her colleagues have been told by the school authorities not to discriminate against her.
My relationship with the children is cordial. We even play together. They help me to do my classwork when I find it difficult to do it.
During break, Alimatu sells food to support her family's upkeep and provide for their educational needs. After school, Alima continued her classes with the help of her second-born, who at the time was in junior high school Form 1.
Good morning, Peter. Good morning, Peter. How are you? How are you?
Her zeal for education was inspired by her political ambition. 4 years on, I have come back to Nkwanta, the capital of the Nkwanta South district of the Oti region, to follow up on Alimatu's academic progress and her political ambition. At class 3, Alimatu sadly dropped out from school after she lost her husband and her second-born, who was teaching her at home. Hit by the misfortunes, she feels her world has been crushed. But she takes solace in her political ambition, which drives her passion to go back to school, as she claims that the little basic formal education she received has impacted her life.
Every aspect of my life has improved. Initially, I couldn't operate my phone, so I rely on my children. But with the little education I had, I can now retrieve names of contacts from my phone and do other things as well.
Like Nelson Mandela, Alimatu believes that education is the right tool to shape her life and transform her community. Stanley Nibleu, TV3 News, Nkwanta, Oti region.
Well, all the best to Alimatu Nasiru.
Certainly, yeah. I mean, she has started a good journey. We wish her all the best as she continues to pursue her education. Now, that story was in Nkwanta before the the imposition of curfew even in that township. Now, a few days on, the curfew is still in place, and Nkwanta, a once bustling town in the Oti region, is now almost a ghost town after clashes during the week claimed 8 lives. My colleague Godwin Asedeba was in Nkwanta to see firsthand the aftermath of the clashes and has come through with this report. Viewer discretion is, however, advised.
Nkwanta, located in the Oti region, is approximately 7 hours drive from Ghana's capital, Accra. It is not just a distant location, but a journey marked by long, bumpy and dusty roads. Upon reaching Nkwanta, I find myself in a town that has seen a recurrence of deadly clashes. On Monday, November 20, 2023, Nkwanta witnessed sporadic and bloody gun battles, claiming 8 lives and leaving numerous individuals injured, including a police officer. The once thriving area is now almost a ghost town as residents continue to flee. The town is now under a dusk to dawn curfew. The root cause of the clashes are disagreements over the performance of ritual rites related to the 2023 annual Yam Festival. Because of the renewed clashes, it has sparked some fear in residents here. This is blood stains of an individual who was shot dead on Monday, November 20, 2023. And when you come with me towards this particular path in between this building, another person was allegedly shot and killed here, and you can see some blood stains on the floor as well. If you walk through the path to this compound, you can see a heap of blood stain that has been here since Monday as well. And we have been told by the eyewitnesses here that this individual was also shot around 7 p.m. on Monday, and the deceased body had to lie here all the way till the next morning on Tuesday afternoon until the police are called to the police officials to come for the deceased remains. You can clearly see that this particular abode is really silent. No individual is here because we have been told that they've all fled and they have abandoned the house.
I was staying in the other tribe's house, so I was running to my mother's house. They just saw me and they put the gun on me. What am I going to do? I'm going to my house. They said I should run into the room. I just heard the gunshot. So in the early in the morning before we heard that the man was dead.
The Oti region, already marked by tribal conflict over land litigation, now bears witness of the escalation of tensions.
I was at home when I heard gunshots. Later, I learned that people had been shot dead. We are afraid because all residents have fled. We need protection.
Despite the efforts of the Oti Regional Security Council to tackle the unrest, skirmishes persist, casting a dark shadow over Nkwanta. Nkwanta, one of Ghana's major food baskets, has suffered economically due to recent events.
Shoes are sold here. This is also a saloon, and that's a drinking spot. Business is at a standstill. We can't even find yams to buy because the market is empty.
Amidst the chaos, police and military personnel have been deployed to restore and maintain peace, ensuring the safety of the remaining residents.
We need to focus on the fundamental socio-economic and geopolitical deficits in that area that is creating an enabling environment for violence to thrive. And we need to stop the cycle of impunity that has taken precedence in the area if really we are committed to dealing with it once and for all so it doesn't start again. Let us stop dealing with the issues superficially. We need to deal with those fundamental issues so we are able to have a long-lasting solution to the crisis.
In the heart of the Nkwanta municipality, where curfew has been imposed by the Interior Minister, Ambrose Derry, you can see a team of police officials who have been deployed on the street to ensure that no individual is being spotted at night on the street after 5 p.m. At the moment, it is 6:30 p.m. and no single soul is being spotted here. The once bustling town of Nkwanta is now silent, and if you're being caught around this time, you will be arrested and you will have some questions to answer
Accra and the court of law.
The Nkwanta's plight underscores the urgent need for a lasting resolution to the deep-seated issues tearing it apart. Godwin Asedeba, TV3 News, Nkwanta, Oti Region.
Well, away from Nkwanta, it was the first planetarium in Ghana funded through a retired couple's pension fund. For many astronomy enthusiasts and children, it whipped up their interest to study the universe around them. With the planetarium now closed down, one lady with a telescope, Lahadi Samira, is on a quest to bring astronomy closer to Ghanaians. Portia Gabo reports.
Samira is a tech engineer and member of the Astronomical Society of Ghana and the Ghana Planetarium. With this Orion astrograph telescope, she's able to get a closer look at planetary bodies, take pictures, and demystify astronomy.
Astronomy is basically the entirety of who we are now, what we were, and where we'll be in the future.
Today, she has given a lecture at the Academic City University on astronomy and space. Curious children around Agbodba and students trickle in to learn. It's night time, an opportunity for many to get a closer look at the moon.
Most of my childhood is a bit secluded. I was bullied, I had no friends, so the only thing I could do was be by myself. And I mean, the night sky is there. If you're alone and you are bored, you will look up the night sky. It sparked my curiosity, some of the things I was seeing. And then I met the Ghana Planetarium, and then they fed into my curiosity. They started teaching me, and then we have what we have here today.
I saw a moon. It is big, and I saw a small dot on it. It is called a crater, and it is wonderful.
What do you want to be in future?
An astronaut, because I want to go to outer space.
When I saw the moon, I thought it was coming to me, and I saw that it was a little bit white and ash.
I also offered a course in cosmic chemistry that's able to at least help me appreciate the course more. I hope that more Ghanaians are able to appreciate celestial bodies, able to know more about it.
I thought it's a good opportunity to bring the kids to see the thing really as in through the machine instead of seeing it just up there, very tiny.
Samira tells me astronomy has always been a part of her life.
The idea for a telescope is to bring astronomy closer to people who on a daily basis would not have the opportunity to see this. I keep telling people, we have all seen the moon, but we haven't seen the moon. And so you see the moon through a telescope, you haven't seen the moon. And only a minute few people will get that very rare opportunity to see that. So this tells me that this equipment is not waste. At least I am getting to share it with the general audience and people who are interested.
Unfortunately, Ghana's first planetarium, founded by Jacob and Jane Ashon and funded through their pension, is closed down. The planetarium, until its closure, received thousands of visitors, including school children, astronomy and space enthusiasts in the country. I embark on a mission to look for the founder.
About 3 years ago, we were informed that it has changed hands and we may need to relocate. We haven't found a place yet. And around January, February this year, I was informed to do something to remove it because they want to make use of the place. So we decided to get our team together to dismantle it, and that's why it's no longer there. Very, very, extremely bad, annoyed with myself for spending my own money and not being able to get government or anybody else to support us to maybe buy our own place or maybe have a piece of land where we can build our planetarium.
So what will it take to reopen the planetarium?
For us is to get government being interested so we can get the government to give the people we can train. Ideally, we need to put one in every university.
The carpenter who worked on Ghana's first planetarium passionately appealed for it to be reopened.
I'm not happy about it, but nothing to say, because the land is not belong to us. So that's how it is. So I'm very sorry about it. But by God's grace, we will get land and we will refresh it back again.
While Dr. Jacob Ashon is hopeful the planetarium will reopen, Samira is chasing the moon, planets, galaxies and the universe around her, ensuring that no one is left out of a cosmic party.
Future of astronomy in Ghana here, I don't see any hope, unfortunately.
What can we do?
The first thing we can do is, one, give the Ghana Planetarium the support they need to open.
It is a fascinating world of astronomy, getting a clearer image of the moon through this telescope. Here at the Academic City campus, astronomy is being demystified. It is the hope of Samira that Ghana's planetarium will be opened for Ghanaians to get a better understanding of the world around us. From the Academic City campus, Portia Gabo, TV3 News, Accra.
You're still watching News 360 on TV3. Stay with us. We're taking a quick break. We'll be right back.
Gentlemen, we're going to demonstrate to you the superior properties of Flamingo paint as compared to other paint brands on the market. We take equal quantities of Flamingo paint and this ordinary paint. We then dilute them with water. And now, let the test begin. The gentleman on the left is going to apply the ordinary paint, and the gentleman on my right will use the Flamingo Superior paint. As you can clearly see, Flamingo has the obvious better hiding. Furthermore, Flamingo has painted a much larger area. You know, one bucket of Flamingo paint is equal to several buckets of any other paint brand on the market. Flamingo paint is made with superior formulation to give superior durability, superior hiding, superior coverage. Flamingo paint, simply superior.
Whenever you fly to space or take your first step as baby, SoftCare always stays with you.
New SoftCare Space Series is rooted from space technology. Keeps you dry and comfortable for 12 hours long. Offers you the most effective protection during your space journey.
SoftCare. Protect your leap.
Are you tired of struggling with bad financial situations? At Quick Credit, we understand the difficulties that come with transitioning to a better one. That's why we're here to simplify the process for you. With loan facilities of 1,000 cedis and upwards, all you have to do is call and we will take care of the rest. All you need is your national ID. No savings, no collateral, no susu, no deposits, and no account opening required. Quick Credit has you covered. Whether you're expanding a business, starting a new one, facing an emergency like school fees or funeral expenses, or even just in need of a salary loan. Call Quick Credit today, 0302 200 390 or 059 692 0833. We do not give loans via the internet. Quick Credit is regulated and licensed by the Bank of Ghana. Terms and conditions apply. Quick Credit. Lending made simple.
There are some moments that last forever because they happen only once. Like your very first day, your first day of school, your first successful bike ride. What's your child's next milestone? Auntie Mary's Gripe Mixture is here to ensure they smile through it all. Auntie Mary's Gripe Mixture has been keeping children smiling for more than a decade by relieving them from gastric pain, flatulence, minor digestive upset, and teething discomfort. Now, Auntie Mary's Gripe Mixture. Auntie Mary's Gripe Mixture is manufactured and distributed by Ernest Chemists Limited. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Welcome back to News 360 on TV3. In a dynamic era dominated by digital advancement, cyber threats loom large on a global scale, prompting leaders in cybersecurity to advocate for international collaboration to address cybersecurity challenges and build capacities for a secure and resilient digital future. Director General of the Cybersecurity Authority, Dr. Albert Ntwi-Boisiakon, emphasized the urgent need for unified efforts to combat cyber threats, underlying the pivotal role of legislation and organizational mandates.
The world becomes increasingly interconnected. The reliance on digital systems across various sectors exposes nations to a multitude of cyber threats. Cyber attacks, once isolated incidents, have transformed into sophisticated global challenges that require a unified response. The emergence of threat actors operating across borders necessitates an international approach, as vulnerabilities in one region can have cascading effects globally.
It's important that international community regularly comes together to assess what we're doing in different countries and what we need to do together so that we'll be able to collectively deal with a threat that is global, transnational in nature. So it's so important. It's not just Ghanaian, irrespective of what Ghana does. If our neighbors, if other countries do not act in a similar manner, remember in 2020 Ghana, the 7th Parliament passed the cybersecurity law. That is good. That has given us the basis for us to deal with cyber threats and attacks that other countries are experiencing. And you expect other countries also at least to have a sound legislative framework in place.
The president of the Global Forum on Cyber Expertise Foundation spoke about the importance of cybersecurity and capacity building in the context of digital development.
What this conference is meant to do is to bring the traditional development community, because now cyber runs everything from dams to financial systems to electrical grids to everything, to food distribution, and the cybersecurity community together to make common purpose and to make all of our efforts more impactful and longer and really carry this into the future, because this is going to be a keystone.
The upcoming global conference to be hosted in Ghana aims to produce a collective approach to addressing the challenges in the ever-expanding digital landscape.
The Golden Hearts Women's Association, based in the United States, has commissioned a nursery facility for the Kissinger Baptist Basic International School at Akwase in the Eastern Region. Prior to the provision of the new educational facility, the nursery pupils studied under trees after losing their classrooms to a windstorm.
The Kissinger Basic International School, established 25 years ago, augments government efforts in the provision of basic school education in the Akwase catchment of the Brim North District of the Eastern Region. Courtesy of the Golden Hearts Women Association of the USA, a new nursery block with ancillary facilities has been provided for the school. The caretaker of the school, Kennedy Kwekudia, says the intervention of the nursery block is timely and already making an impact.
A rainstorm destroyed the building. We had to meet under trees. And when it rains, then it means classes will be over. So with this, we were struggling and we didn't know what to do till our sisters came in. The kids are willing to learn. We have TV facilities there, and they are willing to come to school to learn. And we believe it will help them lay the proper foundation for them for future development.
The convener of the Golden Hearts Women Association, Fafa Agbo, said the provision of the nursery facility by the association is to contribute to the attainment of Sustainable Development Goal 4, Target 4.2.
For them to grow up to be future leaders, it has to start from the beginning. So that was what actually touched our hearts, and we decided to just help in building the school block for them. The Golden Hearts mission is to help people in need. It doesn't matter whether you are in the United States, it doesn't matter whether you are in Ghana. We will go first for education when it comes before we go for anything else.
The Kissinger Baptist Basic International School recorded a 100% performance in the 2023 Basic Education Certificate Examination.
Despite efforts being made to increase the participation of women in the decision-making process, Ghana still has a long way to go in achieving gender parity in local governance. In our Women and Power series, Portia Gabo puts the spotlight on some female aspirants contesting the District Assembly elections on December 19.
It's yet another political season. Low publicity and low representation of women at the local governance level will not deter female aspirants from contesting the District Assembly elections on December 19. Linda Mrikoa Anson is seeking re-election as Assembly member for the Kokomlemle West electoral area, the only female among 2 male contestants. Because of her busy schedule as a mother and worker at the Assembly, her campaign begins at night.
You know, miss you. Go to bed then. I'll see you soon, all right? Okay. Melissa, please come for Larina.
At 9 p.m., she is good to go, but a resident comes in. She needs a birth certificate.
Oh, birth certificate?
Yeah.
Oh, I need one for my daughter.
Oh, really? When you're here, how old is 2 years? Yeah, okay. Yeah, you're trying a last day.
It appears Linda's promise of helping to process birth certificates of residents in her electoral area is a campaign hit.
Monday, oh, okay. It's information in about.
So why does Linda want to be re-elected?
I'm contesting for the second time. I know with 4 more, I will be able to complete all the extra, the ones that I'm not completed yet. So please, I'll urge all of you. You see the road from Royal Castle Road, Dionsters Road, Victory Road, Akokoma Road. We are done with it. It's left with Santa Claus Road and Britannia Road. With 4 more, I will be able to finish it up for the Kokomlemle West electoral area.
She highlighted her achievement in her electoral area, including the provision of street lights.
There wasn't any street lights here. The pole was just there, the concrete pole. So I faced this one. That was the first time that I was contesting. I faced it, and later on, I added another one when I became the Assembly member.
Curbing crime and running social intervention on health and educational campaigns. But there are challenges, including funding.
As a female in politics, it's not that easy. Funding it is not an easy task at all. But with the help of my family, friends, that is the old school mates, godfathers, mothers, who also supports me behind the scenes.
Sometimes she has to battle negative stereotypical comments from society.
She was married into Kokomlemle. When they divorced her, she will leave Kokomlemle while she's an Assembly member. So don't vote for her. And I'll be like, hey, why all this?
Despite these challenges, she's braving the odds to serve her people.
19th December, I for Shikie Eko. Ofane this time inka number 1. Meda number 1, munya mo ba Linda mo maame meda number 1. Me pamo show samo kwa ko vote a. Mamu nhwe baby a. Mu vote Emma number 1.
Larina! Please open the door, hurry up!
At about midnight, her campaign is over and she returns home. Linda is hoping the residents of Kokomlemle West electoral area will vote for her on December 19, not just to increase female participation at the local governance level, but because she's capable. Portia Gabo, TV3 News, Accra.
All the best to the female aspirants. Let's now do some sports with Aniela Luti.
The female aspirant.
Nice.
VIP.
Magnetic perfumes.
There is something that drives you. The very thought of it fuels you. And even when the road gets rocky, you keep going. Just to get the results that matter. It could be about you. It could be the lives you touch. It could be about something dear to your heart. Such results leave a sweet lingering smile, a sense of fulfillment. That's why you work till late, yet rise with the sun. Yes, your drive knows no limit. Do it with Stanbic Bank, where we spur you on to get the results that matter.
We watch the Premier League on Super Sport like we are in a stadium.
That was not an offside. Rashford was in an offside position, but he wasn't interfering with play. And Bruno scored.
This Christmas, dear, entertainment galore on DSTV. The contents just go over you. Dial *759# to reconnect or stay connected now.
Welcome to GTP Fashion Corner. GTP. Life style.
Right, boss, booze, feeling fresh.
My soft-girl woman, how you move like that? Oh, soft-girl woman, how you feel they go like that? My soft-girl woman, how you start over me? My
Soft Care Petal Cares. Great new design. Fit right. Reducing friction by 70%. It absorbs all liquid to prevent leakage. This advert has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Sports segment is brought to you by
Bell Pack Tissues.
It's time for sports here on News 360. I am Aniela Alote. We start off on the continental front in Dreams FC faced a setback in their CAF Confederation Cup group stage match, suffering a 2-0 defeat to Tunisian giants Club Africain. Club Africain seized control early in the game with an impressive team effort leading to a 5th-minute goal and extended their lead in the 19th minute. Looking ahead, the Ghana FA Cup champions aim at in their next fixture against Nigerian side Rivers United at the Baba Yara Sports Stadium in Kumasi next Sunday. Staying on the continent, coach of Galaxy FC, Morena Ramoriboli, was displeased and left a press conference in Morocco after claims of using black magic were leveled against his team following a shocking 1-0 win over Wydad Casablanca in the CAF Champions League on Saturday. Here was his reaction.
Yeah, they did warm up before the game.
Thank you, coach. Congratulations for the win, please.
Sorry?
It is a kind of black magic.
Now you're undermining me. You are saying we won because of black magic. Don't disrespect us. Hey, I'm very sorry, but you can't be talking like that.
Congratulations for...
Thanks very much.
Proceeding to the Ghana Premier League, Accra Hearts of Oak struggles continue after a stalemate with Berekum Chelsea at home as Gideon Asante cancelled out Emmanuel Essien's 25th minute opener. We have the highlights available.
Kick quickly effected, and that's the first goal for Berekum Chelsea. And the Accra Hearts of Oak players are not too happy. Kofi Essien registers his name on the score sheet. Good defending by the visitors. But Hearts won't give up this time because with the near side, Gregory comes out! And Hearts are back in the game!
Heading over to the English Premier League, Aston Villa climbed to 4th on the league table following a 2-1 comeback victory over Tottenham Hotspurs. Meanwhile, Manchester United moved to 6th place after defeating Everton 3-0. Let's take a look at the highlights.
Lo Celso! It's a well-flighted ball towards Torres again! Torres! Watkins. Tielemans. Back for Watkins! Really well worked! And Ollie Watkins scores for Aston Villa. The shot by Toro off the post! Somerset! Flags up again! Flags up again! Can you believe it?
Rashford face-to-face with Mikalenko. Dalot joining in from fullback. Dalot for Garnacho! Oh, wow! Oh, wow!
Forget about everything else. Dalot sits it up, and that is world-class. Absolutely world-class. VAR in my ear checking something. Don't you dare disallow this. There's nothing to be disallowed. It's an absolute world-class goal.
When you think of the great Marcus Rashford, thumps it in with style. And United are 2 up on the road. Off goes Pellistri. Fresh. Fernandez and Anthony Martial. That is nifty. That is neat. And that is game over.
That will be all for sports here on News 360. I am Aniela Alute.
Entertainment news segment is brought to you by Awake Purified Drinking Water, GTP Lifestyled, Vodafone, Further Together, and powered by 3 Entertainment.
Tonight in entertainment news, Husband Daycare, an all-new, compelling, intriguing and thrilling drama series is set to premiere on TV3 in the weeks ahead. In the series, the director, Prince Ode, skillfully utilizes the platform of drama to expose and ridicule the prevalence and effects of corruption as a social vice in Ghana. Here's more on why you need not miss Husband Daycare.
The all-new, thrilling and intriguing drama series Husband Daycare promises to transport drama enthusiasts to another world entirely. The dramatic piece is set in a spa with beautiful damsels. At the Husband Daycare spa, men who are unhappy in their marriages are pampered and given a special treat to put them in the right frame of mind. Celebrated broadcaster and actress Jackie Ankara is the owner of the Husband Daycare spa.
Husband Daycare is about husbands who are in despair, who are disillusioned, who are stressed and looking for somewhere to go. As you know, side chicks have taken over, and we are saying at Husband Daycare, bring your problems to us and we will fix you and send you back home to your wife. I mean, what could be so bad about that, you know? Well, send them back home to their wives. We give you a massage, we give you a manicure, a pedicure, we listen to your troubles, touch you in all the right spots, and make sure by the end of your session, the stress is gone and you can go home. Winnie, have you seen Mr. Samoa here today?
No, madam.
Well, there you have it. Your husband is not on our premises. He is here.
The project stars seasoned actors including Kwame Jokoto, Calibos, Akofa Dieni, and Paulina Odro. The dialogue and narratives of the series, which toe the line between drama and comedy, is built around corruption.
One of the issues we discussed was one of the ladies telling the colleague that this politician has promised to give me a vehicle from the port. And then she goes like, oh, but aren't these vehicles that people have imported into their country? And says, oh, yes, yes. You know, but then when they import the country and they are unable to pay the duty, and demurrage says, you know, the government seizes the vehicles and auctions them. But most often than not, it ends up with functionaries of the government and girlfriends, you know, and she's been promised one. The fact of the matter is that it is a very, very unjust policy
husband daycare spotlights and criticizes the rising levels of corruption in the Ghanaian society. Husband Daycare will premiere at 4 p.m. on Saturday, December 9, 2023. The boss chick at the husband's daycare spa, Jackie Ankara, wants wives, husbands and side chicks, the unmarried and drama enthusiasts, to stay glued and learn a thing or two from its intriguing plots.
But we will excite you. It's refreshing, it's touching, it's stimulating, engaging, it's all of that, and it's beautiful, aesthetic.
I wish. Why am
Certainly an exciting drama we are all looking forward to. Husband Daycare will be on TV3. We are definitely the first in news and best in entertainment, so we've got you covered on that front. On that note, we bring the bulletin to an end. My name is Martin Esiedu Date.
And I'm Aisha Yakubu Khalid. Up next is Spencer. Enjoy.